Change Zenkai!
Tumble!
Ohgaitsu.
Tumble! Ohsha!
Go-Go Power! Zenkai Room!
Hi! Hello! Oh
Hiya.
my god, hope that didn't jump scare you. I think the audio may have been a little too loud, but
That was fire.
what a way to start the episode, right, Jem? Oh my god.
I'm
Oh
so
my
glad I
God.
didn't watch that beforehand.
This was his blind reaction. What are your thoughts?
That was dope. No, I loved
Oh
it.
my god. Oh my god. I loved it too. But like, I'm over here scrambling trying to get it done. Dude. I am over here. We were just saying, chat. I was over here doing like 18 things at once. And we had the idea to do a henshin video before the episode. So I had to get that edited. And I got to get my setup. And then I got to get my outfit. I just got a sweater on today. But you know what? Enough about me, right? Because today is episode 46 of Henshins and Homies. Hello. Oh my god, I said 46. 45! It's episode 45 of Henshins and Homies. You can already see where my brain is at today. We are in for a chaotic ride. Hello, I hope everyone is doing well. We are here joined by a very fabulous guest who's returning, Mr. PrawnhornHeroes, aka PrawnhornHeroes, aka Gem.
Yo, what's good? Thank you for having me. I'm so glad to be back.
I am very glad to have you back too, man. I'm just in awe that you made the time because
Dude,
I love talking
absolutely.
to you. I do.
Hell
Thank
yeah.
you. How are you doing?
Dude, I'm doing good. You hit me up and I was like, yeah, absolutely. When can we make it work? And I appreciate you switching up the time for me. You're like waiting until I got out of work to like set it up and stuff.
Yeah. We got
but yeah.
lives, man. Life
dude.
gets in the way. Life, gets a hold of us, and we gotta
Absolutely.
we gotta work around it. I'm not gonna
100%.
force you to like get on like the moment you get off work because that's exhausting. I know how that feels too.
Dude, I appreciate it. I did like
Yeah, no,
80
of
miles
course.
an hour trying to get home.
Oh
I was
my
like,
god.
I was like, all right, guys, I'm fucking going full speed. I gotta get back. I'm like swearing.
Zenroku Zenkai, right? Full power.
I don't
full
promote driving recklessly, but
but
how
today
I- that's how I
maybe
am.
we did a little reckless. Just a
definitely.
wee bit.
Yeah,
Just a wee bit
and
reckless.
Just a fair warning. Also, I have this giant jug of orange juice that I'll be drinking out of today because
How is that a warning?
I just
That's
want
a
everybody
gift.
so nobody's caught off
It's a
guard.
gift.
You know, if
It's
I
a
just pull
gift.
it out and they're just like, "What's good?"
It's
That out
orange
of
juice,
context is
like-
horrible. Also,
Like, why not? You drink the orange juice and you're like, yeah, definitely orange juice. Yeah.
Just in case I'm just gonna take a sip of this. What is this? This liter and a half of orange juice.
And you know what? As you should, because orange juice is good for you. Okay. Of all
Hey.
things you could be drinking, I'm glad it's orange juice.
No, hey, you know what, Frankie? That's on period.
Period. Right?
Thank
yeah.
you. Honestly, Frankie, I feel like you keep me young, dude, and I love. You
I
for
do.
that. I think you do.
I try. I feel like I'm getting older nowadays.
You think so?
No, it feels that way. I could say, but
I appreciate
I'm glad.
that, though.
I'm glad. This
yeah,
podcast keeps us grounded. We're here. We're here to have
We're
fun.
definitely here.
Yes,
We
we're
definitely are
definitely
here.
here.
That's
We
a fact
definitely are
tonight.
here. Take the swig of his orange juice.
If nothing else tonight, we are here for sure.
We are here. Clip it. All right. Yes. Hi. I'm here too. I'm here. I'm alive. I'm sort of losing my mind, sort of not. I'm trying not to spontaneously combust from all the pressure that college is giving me right now. But you know what? We're just going to ignore that, right? Yeah. Because this
God,
podcast is
absolutely.
here to talk about things that we love. The tokusatsu, the Super Sentai, all those things, right? So, yes, it's a very fun episode today because we are going to be discussing a season that, we haven't really touched on all that much. We did have an episode back with, yes. Someone. We had an
love
episode
yes.
back. We love yes, right? We had an episode talking about Super Sentai with Oh my god. Please. No. Mostly speaking Sentai. Jesus Christ. Okay. And
Oh.
we sort of touched on KingOHGER a little bit there, but last time, the only time we talked about it was during the press conference. So today
Wow.
I wanted to dedicate our episode to revisiting Ohsama Sentai KingOHGER and seeing how we feel about it, right? And our B topic will definitely be around another search for the worst. This time around, we're going to be focusing on Mech. All right, so that is going to be episode 45 today. But before we can get into all of that, I just want to let some viewers know, if they're not already aware, that at the moment, Zachary is taking a little bit of a hiatus from the podcast. He's fine, family's safe. It's just, if we haven't learned already in this podcast from the first 5 minutes of us talking, that life gets in the way, right? And he needs some space, he needs some time, and we totally respect that, right? Right? We better. So
Right?
I'm going to be right. I'm going to be hosting the podcast until the end of season 1, and if he shows up, that'd be great. But chances are he may not. But it's okay. It's okay. He's still on Twitter. He's still on Twitter. He's still active. We're fun. We're good. We're Gucci, right? Yes. All right. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and join our favorite little corner of the internet. Our Henshin Huddle. Yes. Henshin Huddle. Yeah. Wait, Jum, tell me, you haven't been on the podcast in a while. Do you even know what Henshin Huddle is?
Nah, dude, you just did that, and I was like, "What the fuck is happening?" I was like, "What is this?"
He's like,
Like
what?
I saw the because I have this full screen, and I was like, "All right, I'm watching us," and then it just happened, and I was like,
Oh my
ad?
god. I'm sorry. In the middle of the episode, an ad?
Yeah, could you
Oh
imagine?
man, I wish, right? But no. This is Henshin Huddle. If you're not
Talk to
aware,
me.
like Jem, this is
Dímelo.
a segment on the podcast. Yes. Okay, bilingual. This is a section on the podcast where we talk about all things Tokusatsu in the moment, right? Because with these episodes, we take bi-weekly breaks, so we may miss some stuff. This is what the Henshin Huddle is for. We talk about things that are going on in the Twitter sphere or some
man.
news that we want to touch on, some toys, some suits, whatever it
Okay.
may be, right?
Okay.
And so today's Henshin Huddle is definitely going to be a little bit shorter because I haven't really been on Twitter all that much, but from what I can see, nothing much has really been going on all that much. But some really big news: the actor strike is over. And this is amazing. I'm really glad that they came to a new agreement and that most of these actors are going to get paid. No, all of the actors are going to get paid for their work fairly, properly. I hope, right? The reason why I bring this up is because Cosmic Fury and other shows, like, have been in a little bit of like a silent delay. They just have been keeping stuff back because, the actors are, staying true to being on strike and not really promoting the shows that aren't paying them as much, or like the companies that aren't paying the unions, you know what I mean? So now that the actor strike has lifted, being on Twitter, I'm starting to see some more photos of the actors posting about, the show, specifically Cosmic Fury. Have you seen them, Jem?
Oh, for sure. On Instagram, for me specifically, I haven't really been much on Twitter, like you just said for yourself. But on Instagram, I saw specifically Russell, actor for Zato. He spoke about like the first picture, the first video he posted. He was like, now that the deal is settled and the strike's over, like I'm happy we're able to start talking about the show. And that was kind of very just like very blatant and on the nose that like, hey, I can talk about this now and get ready because I have stuff I've been wanting to say but I couldn't and now I can. So I'm
Yes, I
excited.
think Russell also like posted in the past, like when Cosmic Fury finally aired, that like he wasn't going to be really commenting on his role or anything like that. Like other actors, they haven't said anything either, but I think Russell was one of the only ones that like full out said, "Oh, I'm not going to talk about this because we're on strike right now." And so now that it's over, he is. And he posted a video recently of him trying on the Cosmic Fury suit for the first time. It was nice to see a little bit of the behind the scenes of the show because we did not get that much of it. We did not, right?
No, definitely not.
No. And Kai Moya, he's also posting a photo of himself inside of the evil, uh, what's it like? The evil, like, Lord Zed suit that he was given in Cosmic Fury Spoiler. It was really nice to see him inside the suit. I wouldn't have even expected him to be inside that suit because we never really see him without his helmet, do we?
No, not in
we
that suit
don't.
anyway.
Yeah. So it was really cool to see Kai Moya do that. And I guess this means moving forward that other actors, I'm thinking about Hunter Dino, is going to post more stuff about the show because now they're allowed to, or now they want to, right?
Yeah.
So that's a really big thumbs up. And I'm glad that, moving forward, these actors are going to be compensated appropriately for all the work that they've done. And this could mean a lot of great things for us fans, too. We get more quality shows. The actors are more happy to be part of the projects that they're working for. It's all going to be uphill from here. Fingers crossed. So, yeah, that's the actors' strike. Now, I don't think there's anything else to really speak on, but since Jem is back on the pod, since his last episode, we did some work together. Now, did we?
Oh, we did. Yeah.
Yeah, we did. Want to talk about it?
Absolutely. Well, we I had reached out because I had seen you do just your own henshin stuff, and I've been wanting to collaborate with more people. And I don't know if I knew or if I just asked you and then that solidified it, but like found out you were in New York, or sorry if that's just outing where you are.
No, you're
I'm
fine.
so
You're
sorry.
fine. You just talked to me. It's okay.
This is crazy.
Yeah. I'm in New York.
But because of where we found out where you are, and because we were in Pennsylvania or are in Pennsylvania, we just were like, yo, let's drive down. And like, you were down, which was very nice of you to be comfortable with having two strangers come meet up with you to film.
Oh,
some
yeah.
transformation.
Definitely.
I
could have went in your car. I could have been in, and you just like drove off, like never again.
You could have stolen our stuff and then just peace.
I could have stolen your stuff. What am I gonna do, right?
Well, just like we don't know, right? Like
I'm like,
right, and like so, like the fact that like everyone was comfortable enough to meet up, I thought was really cool, and like you're the sweetest, so like hanging out that day was really nice. I figured like we could talk about that now that it's been a while. Like that was a fun day, like we got to eat and stuff beforehand and kind of just like chit chat. I thought that was really nice.
Dude, oh my god, Jeff. Like to meet up with a friend who loves tokusatsu just as much as you do and is willing to film stuff with you with their own collection. It's a dream come true. Honestly, like I'm not even exaggerating when I say that. And a lot of people who are into the stuff that we are in would say the same thing. It's not common to really find a fan that's into the kind of stuff we are. Like, yeah, you can find a Marvel fan, DC fan, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, Star Wars. But Super Sentai, that's a little bit more of a niche community, right? So it's not going to be often that you bump into someone and they're like, oh, hey, you have a pin from that show. I watched that show too.
Yeah.
So for an online friend like you to be like, hey, like, let's film something together, my mind was blown. Because I get to do... Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I don't know what's going on outside my window.
Dude, I thought that was my house. I thought that was
No, I'm so sorry. I'm this close to
No,
closing
you're
the window.
fine. You're fine.
I got to do 3 things that I love doing, which is filming, hanging out with friends, and playing with toys.
Hell yeah.
Like, all right, sorry, sue me.
Hell
Right?
yeah.
Like, let's be honest, right? Like, we like to do those kinds of things.
Yeah.
So it was really fun. And like you said, we had a little picnic. You and I just like sitting down on the grass and like really just bonding. Like it wasn't like a business transaction. Like, okay, we film this and then we do this for you.
Like we went our
and then we
separate
leave.
ways.
Yeah, and it's like no. Like first off, we're gonna get comfortable. We're gonna be friends. We're gonna chat, and we're going to just like hang out. And then we started to do some filming, and that's when the magic really started to come together, right? Because we started with the Revice first.
Yeah, the
And
real
that was
Stevens
like
and John.
Yes, and that was a really good video to start out with because all three of us were doing poses and yelling henshin. Oh my god, like my soul, I don't know how to describe it, but my soul, like I was like glowing when we just said henshin together for the first time in the park,
Yeah.
because this is a park that I've grew up in all my life, you know, and I never did something like this, let alone filming in public like this. So to do it with you guys, dream come true, honestly.
Oh, yeah. That was fun
and the-
because that is till this day we hadn't done a 3-person shot and still haven't done a 3-person shot till this, because like I never have the time, like I never, you know, whenever we go out and film now, like I want to make sure I get my practice in because we only have so much time, so I try to practice
Right.
my skills, and like if not, Sophia is filming me, so like I really get to have like a 3 or 4-person shot. But, you know, every time I think about that day, I just think about how we really did, you know, we did a couple takes, like we had a couple takes, but we really did nail like a really cool fucking 3-person henshin in one shot.
Absolutely,
Like all the
dude.
poses,
and we gotta
like us
upload those
saying
bloopers
henshin.
too.
We really, I have a bunch. I just have to sit down one day and just like put it all together, you know? But I feel
Yes.
like that one was a really fun one to do. And like you specifically filmed some of my stuff, so and like this is something we never talked about before, that like this is why I wanted to talk about it so people can know. You know, like Fee usually films me, but like I think I filmed Sophia, and then you filmed me, and then I filmed
Yeah.
you.
Right.
But that's something that like I was like, yo, do you want to film? And like you were like, yeah, like, you know, like why not? And like I was like, you can
Right.
film me after I film Sophia, just so you can see like what we do and like what we're looking for, and like, you know, how you would
The
approach
style,
it. And,
right.
like, yeah. And then you did it, and like when I was editing, I was like, this is dope. Like I just, you know, I felt comfortable. Like I didn't feel like it was like out of place. Like you definitely like matched what we were trying to do, and like it just looked as if either one of us had filmed it. So like, dude, yeah,
Right.
I loved
right.
it.
I love that it was a collaborative effort. Like it wasn't just
Yep.
like one person doing most of the work and the rest were kind of just there to be on camera. Like everyone was behind the camera, everyone was in front of the camera. We were taking turns, like making sure that like, oh, okay, just move here a little bit and I'll get you from down here. Something else that we did on the shoot was take some photos, which I believe
Dude,
you said
hands down
you
for
didn't do
you
before.
for that. Yeah, hands
Oh my
down, because like that's something that like Sophia and I try to take like selfies or like pictures when we're filming, but like you were definitely like taking pictures a lot throughout the day, and like I didn't really realize it until we were done that like we really do have like all these pictures throughout the day, and that was something that like I appreciate a ton.
Yeah, it like encapsulates the memories that we had during the day, you know? Like most of the stuff that we're taking on camera is going to be for the video, but when we take photos of behind the scenes, it's like, no, that's not characters, that's us. That's us having a good time. That's just us remembering, like, you know, like I think back to that Instagram post that you uploaded of Fee moving the camera during Jack Revise or Crimson Veil. It was really fun. It was really fun to look back at those memories. And to this day, I look back at those memories and I'm like, oh, that's so fun. Especially that teaser you made of like all the projects that you were going to release in the upcoming months. And to end it off with the trio henshin,
Yes.
I show that to a couple people and every time they're all like, yo, this is badass. Like, I'm not
Yo.
even like into the things you watch, but that was sick.
Yo,
So
it's so funny you say that. I have that because I tweeted that video out specifically, and then it did
Yeah.
well, and because of that, I posted it on YouTube. But like that tweet, I ended up pinning on my profile because I just like people really did like that. Like I think Michael Kidder, I believe his name is.
Yeah.
He replied to it, or I think he quote tweeted it, but he was like, this is like really well like shot and edited or something, and I was like, damn, dude, like that's crazy.
Yeah,
Like that's crazy that you said, and like shit like that is just like it makes me feel good, like with what we're doing, and like specifically for that, I was just like, I just want to post it like a little tease for what we've been filming because all the videos hadn't been done.
You were busy. There was a time where like you had like 8 projects like in your like
Dude, we're
drafts.
constantly busy. That's something that I can talk about if you want me to. But like till this day, like we are sitting on stuff that we can post, and that's something that like
Yo.
from back then, like I've taken that day that we did as like inspo for how we work now.
The
like,
standard.
No, it really was because like it wasn't up until that point that we really like filmed a bunch in one day. Different costumes, you know, like you brought a couple outfits, like we had a couple of different outfits. So like there wasn't any other day that we had dedicated that much time to film
And it was
many
crunch
different
time too.
videos.
You guys had to get back to
It
Pennsylvania.
was,
Had to get back to the
dude,
baby.
it was crunch time. Exactly.
We got 4 videos done, and
Yes.
we did all that in like what, like 5 hours, something like that.
Yeah,
like something like
yeah,
that.
we spent. I think that we weren't really rushing. I think at the end, I started running out of memory. And like I don't know. I probably was a little tired, but other than that, like I don't think there was a point where we were rushing.
No, we weren't like, oh my god, we have to get this one, and then like this
Yeah,
shot.
it was
No.
like,
Like
let's
we were taking our
film.
time with it. We made sure that
Yeah.
what we were filming was good, right?
Yeah, and that's what I remember
Right.
about that day, and I take that and I hold that with us now, because like, I don't know, I like getting shit done. I like feeling good, but like as you know, like because like at some point some of the videos were waiting for VFX, and some of them I just like I wanted to like space out. So because I wasn't able to release everything, I was like, let me post this little teaser, and like people really liked it. So like I was always super thankful.
People really
at the,
loved it.
Yeah, I was very thankful at the reaction and the response to that, and I was thankful that you were involved because, like, people that I work with, people that I like, I just want to make sure that if I ever fucking succeed, I want them to succeed with me. Like
Wow,
shit
wow.
that's
What a true
fucking
man.
cool that happens. I want to make sure that the people are with me that have been in it get the credit that they deserve.
Oh,
Fucking A.
there we go. There we go.
Hell yeah, dude.
Lots of love, bro. Lots of love, man. Thank you so
Absolutely.
much. And
Thank
hey,
you.
maybe in the future. Maybe
Oh,
in the
for sure.
future.
Maybe.
Maybe stay tuned. Like, I don't know, like maybe. Like just like
Maybe.
subscribe and then you'll see something in the future. I don't know. But yeah. Wow, man. I can go on and on about this day, but
We could.
honestly, we could dedicate a whole podcast episode to it.
Yeah,
real.
for sure.
Maybe on yours. I don't know.
Yeah, oh, yeah, that'd be cool. Do like a henshin video commentary behind the scenes thing.
Yes, like we watch the video and then
Yeah.
we like
I
give like
think we
and then
should
you
do
that's
that.
when you
That'd
could
be really
debut the
fun.
bloopers. Oh,
We
Clip
could
it.
do that too. Sophia and I have been talking about doing some more commentary about video. So I feel like videos that other people have been in, we could have them come back and we could talk about that. I feel like that'd be a perfect opportunity. You're so
that's gonna be heat if you do.
That'd be
that,
dope.
man.
That'd be dope.
Oh my god, that'd be amazing. All right, take a swig of your orange juice and clap for me in 3, 2, 1. Yeah.
That was pretty spot on. That was
That
on
was
point.
pretty synced. Like I'm not gonna lie, like that was pretty synced. Like that was
I'm
pretty
not-
good. Yeah.
I'm not a magician, but that was magic.
Real. I couldn't have said it better myself. Before we move on, we got our co-host, Mr. Sergeant Hooked on Heroes, over here in the chat. He's over here saying hello, Frankie and Jem. Bro,
Yo.
Jem and Fee, your vids are amazing. Also, you two are adorable together. Oh
Thank you
my
so
god,
much,
wait. I gotta quickly mention
Yeah.
that proposal. That was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life, bro.
Thank
Ever.
you, dude.
Ever.
Thank you.
Ever, dude. Oh my god. First of all, congratulations.
Hell yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay. That was everything about that video is so wholesome and sweet, and Fee's like genuine reaction in the end of it when you proposed.
Mm-hmm.
Just congrats to you, man. Amazing couple.
Thank you. It's funny
so
because
happy for you,
that
sir.
obviously she didn't know. Like that was the
It's like,
ruse,
can you
right? Like that
pretend
was
to
the
cry?
disguise. Like I was like, hey, so when your family goes on vacation, we're gonna be at the beach. Like let's film a henshin. I feel like it'd be really cool to film it on the beach. Like new location, right? Ha ha ha. But the whole
You're
plan
like tucking
was
the
I
ring
was,
in your pocket. You're like, haha.
yeah. The whole plan was I was just gonna propose, and that was just the ruse. So.
Oh my god,
Thank you.
dude. No, we gotta save this conversation for when we like I don't
We
know, like,
will.
do something
Yeah,
on your
yeah.
channel, because
Yeah.
I'd be there for you. Hello. Even my co-host, even the host says Gem is truly a gem. Mm-hmm. Something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, it's
No, that's
something.
Senkaiger. I don't know. All right, we're talking about the wrong Sentai season right now. We got to get into Ohsama Sentai King-KingOHGER. I got to come clean though.
Me too.
We haven't been caught up.
It's worse for me than it is for Frankie, so
But like, look, that's not going to stop us from having conversation about it. You know,
That's
we're not
true.
going to talk about one episode specifically. We're going to talk about how we feel about the overall season up until now, right? It's 35 episodes as of the time of this recording. It's beginning to wrap things up. Sooner or later, we're going to start to hear a little bit more about Boom Boonja or something like that.
Yeah.
The next 48th season of Sentai. Oh my god, we're going to reach 50 soon.
Yeah.
What is going to happen? Because you saw how all
Fucked.
out they went for 45. Like, imagine 50. It's going to be insane.
true.
Or maybe it's going to be another revise. I don't know. But
Excuse me, I'm so sorry.
I think, no, you're fine. I think, let me start out with this, right? I think KingOHGER is pretty cool. I like it. I like
Okay.
it a lot. Yeah.
Okay.
No, really, like, I'll give my thoughts first. And I would like give my thoughts before the time jump because I know you're not all too caught up with that, but I'm sure you've
Yes.
seen clips and I'm sure you've
Yes,
seen like
yeah.
little like teasers. Yeah, so I know you're not in the dark, but I won't spoil way too much about like that second part of the show. We will get into a little bit of it though. But overall, characters, the plot, the CGI, which you know has been a little bit of a controversial decision on Toy's part to like you know go fully like into the whole like digital green screen AI. Well, not AI, not 01. Digital green screen world of you know Terraria. Don't look at me. Don't look. But it all of that works, and let me tell you why. Right. So the thing about KingOHGER is that even though there could be a little bit much going on, especially visually with like, you know, like the backgrounds and like the sets and stuff, you got to remember that we wouldn't be in this world if it wasn't for the technology that brought us here. So we got to be thankful for it. I don't think KingOHGER would be the show that it is today if it wasn't for the Sony LED screens that help bring the world to life. And I think more people should be praising it because yes, it is a little sad that we don't see these characters outside of the studio all that much, but when they are in the world, they feel immersed. Like every kingdom feels so intricate down to the little detail. You could look at something in the corner of the screen and you can see like an animated bug like crawling around. You know, that's how much detail that these animators are putting into the show. And I just think that they deserve a little bit more praise for that. Because when I'm on Twitter or anywhere else, I do hear a lot of criticism toward how the screen could be a little glitchy or like characters are kind of blending in a little bit. I have like a clip in that Mostly Speaking Sentai episode of Jeremy kind of blending into a background a little bit because of his green screen. Like there's going to be little fumbles like that, but I try to ignore those moments because I feel like whenever else like we see them in these kingdoms, it's sick. And I couldn't be more grateful, honestly. What are your thoughts on like the setting?
Speaking just to the look of it, I personally kind of love it. I think we're in an age with filmmaking that like everything hasn't been on location, like especially MCU stuff. You know, what's another show? Mandalorian, The
Yeah,
Batman. Like I just think a lot of these shows have shot it with that technology of having it wherever, and it makes you feel like these characters are wherever. I personally haven't seen The Mandalorian, so I can't speak to it. But I remember seeing The Batman and just thinking that every shot they were at some location or he was on a rooftop. But a lot of those rooftop shots that have you seen The Batman? With
Yes,
Robert Pattinson?
the new one. Yeah, I have.
Okay.
Yeah.
So scenes where Robert Pattinson and Catwoman are on the rooftop, like a lot of those scenes
Yeah.
aren't real, or like you know they're real, but like they're in front of like
they're not
screens.
outside, like they're in front of the screens, right?
Yes. So like I think stuff like that, like you know, depending on your budget, it can be more immersive than others. But I think this show has been doing a great job at it. I think it makes me just set it apart from other shows. It helps me see it as its own thing, and it helps me see it as fiction and as not something that is trying to be grounded, if that makes sense. Like,
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
if you're trying to set it too much in a ground setting, or if like you're trying to make it too much in this world, you're trying to have it make sense, sometimes you start picking at like, oh, well, it doesn't make sense because this or whatever. But like because this is such an otherworldly view and like it is like a different world, everything about it isn't a problem to me. Like even when I do see like, oh, that's kind of wonky. Like I can tell the chroma key is kind of rough there. You know, like I'm always like, it's still good. Like I like the mythical aspect that it brings.
Absolutely, man. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
I'm really grateful that Toei continues to take risks with their show. For a long time, they were sticking to a very strict formula of how a Super Sentai season should go. Like this, like many, not even, like all the main cast needs to be humans or like some variation of a human, right? A creature, but just like a humanoid body is what I'm trying to say. Like these story beats need to happen, these things need to happen. But in the recent years with Zenkaiger, Dawn Brothers, and now KingOHGER, a lot of things have been changing. And honestly, it's for the better. And what I love is that Toy continues to learn from itself. With Dawn Brothers and Zenkaiger, they took elements that worked and continued to adapt those ideas into KingOHGER in different areas while disregarding the things that may have not worked so much, Like, I can think of, how Zenkaiger didn't have a traditional team of Rangers. What am I saying? Oh my God, who am I? A traditional team of, well, yeah, like I guess Rangers. I don't know what I was like saying there, but with KingOHGER, like even though they're all more humanoid, like they have more like personality in a way, and I think that Toei isn't afraid to also introduce characters who aren't really humanoid. Jeremy's oh my God, not me forgetting this word again. Like Jeremy's helper, right? The Bugnarok guy. I don't know if you're like all caught up with that. He is not a human character, but he still does a great job with like carrying the plot and stuff like that when he needs to, and he does more than people realize. I'm yapping a lot, I know, but tell me, what are your thoughts on the characters?
Man, I don't know. I think at first I was super hesitant because I loved Dawn Brothers so much, but I really do love probably everybody. And for me, it's rare to love everybody. Like I'm like
Everybody has
all
something
right.
to love.
I think more like in Dawn Brothers, I loved Don Momo, I loved Kiji, and I loved kinda Tsubasa. But I only loved Tsubasa because I knew he was gonna end up with Sononi, and I wanted to see what that story arc would be, how they, so like I was interested for that. But with everybody else, I was just like, yeah, they're cool. And with this show, I was like, all right, let's see what's good. And then the first episode really, really like let me dip my
Set the
toes. I was
tone.
like, I was like, okay, I feel this. And then the second and third, fourth and fifth after that, I was like, damn, I kind of fuck with everybody. But I was like, let
Right.
me wait. And as the show progressed and as it went on, you introduced Jeremy as a sixth, and I was like, okay, let's see what's good. Really, really love what they do with everybody. I love Himeno just like as this like super strong queen that is just like has to be confident and strong and selfish because like that's what she has to be. And
Right.
like I love that clashes with Yanma's like I got here because I worked my fucking ass off, and like that is like the realest you could be, like rising and like working hard and grinding, and like I don't know, their energies meet in such a cool spot, and I just want them to like get married and like have little human babies, you know what I mean?
There's a lot of Himeno shippers out there.
Dude, I
They
love
are
them. I
really
love
cute.
them. I love them. And then you have Rita and Kaguragi that just feel like these two like wild cards that could either be like could have an episode that is focused on them that either like helps the team or that is kind of like against the team in their own ways, because like you got like Judge Neutral over here, and then you got like Three-Face McGee that'll like do anything that he wants. You know what I mean? So like I just love that aspect of like you never know what to expect, but then when you do see them do something, you think one thing and then they reveal their actual face, and then it's something else. And I just love finding more layers to these characters, because like I feel like we rarely flesh out characters in Sentai because there's so many. But I think this season has done a really great job of making me feel for every character. And I think everybody being like a king or queen of their respective nation helps. Like I already
Yeah,
see
with,
that.
like,
I already
stakes.
see. Yes, I already see everybody as like a leader. And now we just
Mm.
have a team of leaders. So I don't know. I really like that.
Oh my god, I couldn't have said it better myself, seriously, because the character dynamics
Mm-hmm.
are really strong. Like going
Mm-hmm.
straight off of Dawn Brothers. People were a little skeptical of King-KingOHGER at first because they're like, okay, like Dawn Brothers was like a very wacky season, and now we're going to this fully fictional world of not even Earth. Like, where are we gonna go? Are these characters gonna be insane? Like what's gonna happen, right? But like you said, like as the episodes went on, like from episodes 1 to 5, 5 to 10, and now like in the 30s, the characters, the cast are so strong with their performances, with their plots, with their arcs, everything. And retainers is the word I was trying to find earlier. The retainers are really strong too. They add that other layer of like personality to the cast of kings, and it's really fun, to see like how each king slash queen handles their kingdom and how they prioritize their kingdom over not only like themselves but also the other kingdoms.
Oh
Like
yeah.
sometimes we even get the conflict. Okay, this is going on in my kingdom, and now I'm gonna use people from your kingdom to help me. This is more like a Humano thing because that selfishness of hers. But it's really fun to see again with Tombo. Ooh, forgot his name. He like their
Yama.
dynamic. Yeah, Yama. Thank you. Their
Mm-hmm.
dynamic of like, okay, like here's how we balance, here's how we work. It's really fun.
Mm-hmm.
Gira, to me, stands out a lot because in
Mm-hmm.
the beginning of King OG, even from episode 1, this man showed off how much emotion and range that he could display on camera. And so now, I'm not going to say too much about the time skip, but now that he is officially the king of Shugadam, he has stepped up. Like he is mature enough to take on the role of taking care of thousands of people in his kingdom, but he's also that very like childish and kind of unpredictable gear that we already knew from 2 years prior, right? And I really like that they didn't like completely give him like a whole new personality and stuff, because we like Gira for who he is, this like tyrant king who was gonna take over the world, but really he's trying to take over, the bad to help the good.
Oh
That's
yeah.
that's like his real goal, is the way I see it. Um, Also, Rita is a really interesting character, especially in the more later episodes. Their arc with losing their mother, and or not mother. I'm sorry, I'm not 100% sure if it's their mother, but like the queen before them, like having that complexity. Like we don't really get to learn too much about Rita when we are introduced to them at the beginning of the show, but later on we start to learn a lot more about them, and we learn a lot about why they are, so neutral, why they can't let their guard down. And I love that a lot. Even with the relationship with Rita and Himeno, how Himeno is always telling Rita like, "Hey, like let's have a tea party," and then Rita's like, "No, I gotta stay neutral. Like I can't do this with you because I don't want bias to creep in whenever I have to make a decision or something like that." It's really interesting to see how like both of these leaders handle that. You know. Also, Kaguragi Debowski. He is. He is he is a character. He is a character.
It
Three
really is.
three face McGee. You called him that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just now. He really is, because like to this day I still don't know how to feel about him. It's like his sister now is like working or the other side, but also like they're secretly working with each other, but he's on like the King-KingOHGER side. I really want to see where they go with this, because it's getting juicy. I wish I watched the last 3 episodes of this show before starting the podcast, because I want to give more take on like where the story is going at the moment. But I could say for certainty that the characters are going to continue to be their best selves, and with the new threat that they're dealing with, it's going to get intense. Also Jeremy. I don't want to leave out Jeremy. Jeremy is a really good sixth. I love his character and how he's like this sort of voice of reason sometimes, but also needs to be taught himself. You know, I love that dynamic of like, okay, he's over here trying to literally like a spider web everyone together and make them work with each other. But at the same time, sometimes he gets in over his head or he gets the wrong idea, especially with like the Bugnarok in the first half of the show. You know, like he realizes this stuff and the kings help him out. You know, so it's really fun to see that dynamic as well for the characters. It's really fun. It's really fun. I have a question for you. What are your thoughts on a Sentai season without a red?
I'm down.
You're down,
You could,
right?
yeah, you could usually have like a white. And if you don't have a white, because I'm thinking of like a Zenkaiser, like a big one, you know,
Right.
like a one that has like a rainbow, like
I get that. Yeah.
you know.
I bring this question up because some people have been speculating that Toy is at it again experimenting with some stuff. They're trying to see if toy sales or like any sale of the show will work without having a red on the packaging. Because with King-KingOHGER, what's been really interesting is that with Gear's new power-up, King Kuwagata-Ohger, with his full gold, majestic-looking suit, oh my god, it's beautiful. Toei has been promoting him in that suit more than him in his red suit. And so what we get is the full team, but there's no red. And I'm really curious to know if in the future this is going to be the reason why they may not include a red at all. Or maybe next time the red will be the sixth. How cool would that be?
I guess
It, like,
that would be
changed-
pretty cool.
It would change things up a bunch. And it'd be really interesting.
It would.
I
be.
kind of like... Yeah. Have something to say?
Well, I was only thinking. I'm only thinking about like the other side of it, of just like how impossible it feels because of
It's
Japan.
been a
You know, just
tradition
like
from
the
day
red.
one.
You know, it's like the red is that like red sun on their flag. Like it's just it's the beacon. You know, like I feel like
Right,
it's.
right.
It's so iconic, and it is. That's why I feel like red is always the leader, right? Because like that is like Japan essentially. Like they're very prideful of that red.
Yeah.
So I'm always like, now that you say that, I'm thinking about it, and like, I don't know, I can't see that because every time I think of Sentai, like red is what I think of. So
That's
like
true. That's
I
true.
don't I guess I don't know. Like
When you think of a Sentai season, the first thing you think of is the Red Ranger.
yeah, I mean
Because
yeah,
they're the leader.
But again, I would be down. I would be down for a season without a red in the core five. Because
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
you could use it otherwise, or maybe you don't. I don't know. But I'm always open. I'm always open for other things. I will say this.
I'm always open too.
I can see a female red in Sentai happening before we do
no red.
red in the core team.
Yeah.
And I'm saying this now on this podcast. If we get a no red in the core team before a female red in the core team, the system's broken. Something is wrong. We need to take a step back. Something's broken.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say. So
No,
I
I don't
think-
disagree with you. I don't disagree with you.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, because like with Super Sentai, they've been doing red from the very beginning. I mean, look at that jacket helmet behind you, right? Like they
Go Ranger.
Go Ranger, right? Oh my God, did I say the wrong season? Oh my
It's okay.
God. My brain is fried. No, but red has been a part of the Super Sentai identity for so long now. And you're right, like Japan has a very close connection with the color red. And so to exclude red entirely from a Sentai season, that doesn't feel right. And it may not feel right now, but if they do decide to do that, they definitely should have a full-time female Red Ranger before then. Because it's like, okay, interesting how you didn't want to give that role to a woman before just getting rid of it entirely, you know? And like that's not to say that like they'll completely eliminate red from like all seasons, you know. That's not the case, but it would definitely be cool, especially since we saw how fun it could be with Cosmic Fury with Amelia as the Red Ranger. I feel like Super Sentai takes some notes from Power Rangers and the way that Bandai, now Hasbro, has been handling the show. So if they take anything from the most recent seasons, I would hope that they would feel more encouraged to have a bit more diversity with their cast. You know, have the Red Ranger be a woman, have, you know, an openly gay Ranger. You know what I mean?
I do.
These kinds of things would be awesome. I mean, with Rita being non-binary, well, at least like I believe they mentioned that. To me, Rita's non-binary. And if they're not, correct me. But that's a really good step in the right direction. I really do like how they decided to do something different with that, because I don't think they really, well, they have, but not in the main cast, I believe. No, definitely not. Mech. Let's talk about Mech, not the B topic, but just what are your thoughts on the Mech and KingOHGER?
Not my favorite, but not. It's not my favorite. It's not my favorite, but it's also, I don't hate it. Like I enjoy new combos sometimes. And then
We're
I'm
definitely
like,
back to the cluster fuck of like a billion Mech being on one central body,
yeah,
especially
I
with
don't
God
know.
KingOHGER.
I didn't really like KingOHGER to begin with, like the mecha. So like the fact that I
Yeah.
didn't like that, I was like, hopefully it gets better with like the combos, and I didn't like it with Spider Kumonos together. I do like the Spider Knight though, like on its own. I think that mech is cool. That mech is cool.
I love it. I want to own him. Yes.
Same, actually. Yeah, I think the tarantulas really, God tarantulas really cool, but other than that, I don't really like them. I'm sorry, I don't really like the mechas. I can't speak to them.
That's really interesting, because I felt similar to when they were first announced. Like again, like coming right off of Dawn Brothers with Oni Taijin, like that.
God, yes.
That was like pinnacle, peak Mech right there.
That
and
mech
it was the
makes
first
me feel like
one
a kid
too.
again, and that's the problem. That
Seriously.
that mech really makes, yeah, for real, brings the kid out of me.
It's so good. It's so good. And so to do something after it, it's gonna have that little like, oh, it's not this.
Yeah,
You
like
know what
not
I
living
mean?
up, yeah, not living up to it.
It's not living up to what was shown to us before. You know, it's not easy to always do that.
Yeah.
So with KingOHGER, the mech, like it's interesting, and I'm gonna actually spoiler alert, talk about this a little bit in my B topic, but I feel like they really wanted to make sure that it was articulated and stuff, but that kind of came at the expense of the design a little bit. Like, I don't know, like I'm not really a fan of how thin the limbs are on Kuwagata-Ohger, and how like I don't really like the gimmick of like anywhere you place like the thing, like it'll fit. You know, I kind of think that's a little. It's gonna sound so stupid, preschooly. Yes, childish in a show for children. Yeah, but that's kind of what I'm getting a little bit. You know, I feel like with Oni Taijin, like it was doing the articulation right. Like we got like these different you know, like animals and demons and like Momotaro, right? And they did a good job making sure that it was articulated but also beefy and strong and big, very very big mech. But with KingOHGER, it went from like here to womp, and it's like, okay, well, you know, a little bit scrawnier. But I guess that was all intentional, because now with God KingOHGER, it is everything but scrawny. It is large with a capital L. And I kind of feel a little indifferent about it. I mean, I like it, but I also don't think we really need to go back to those kinds of designs with like all the mech onto one body. You know, it kind of feels a little much. Now, like if there was a spectrum from like having every mecha on the body to having like three, like, you know, King Kishirio, or the final mech for KingOHGER, I forgot the name, I'm so sorry, but or to like, you know, clusterfucks like this or Shinkenger, I kind of want like a little bit of like in like a middle, How cool would it be if like you could put all the mech on, but you could also just have like mighty like ultra mech, but without all the Zords, kind of like what Resoldier did.
Yeah.
Because in a way you could put all the Zords together on Kishirio or King Kishirio, but would you? Because King Kishirio looks great by itself. That's my take on that. Yeah. Also, I know you've heard about Gabutera coming back. I know you've heard about it. What are your thoughts?
I mean, I don't know. I love KingOHGER, and they're lucky I love KingOHGER, because if it had been any other season, I probably would have been a little upset. But actually, I don't know. I feel like if it had happened in the last 3 years, I would have been down. But the fact that they're adding some KingOHGERs into I think it was like 2 episodes, right, that they were in.
Yeah.
The fact that they had some KingOHGERs come back, and like Gabutera's in there and can combine with KingOHGER, I think that is fun. And it's definitely something that happens in the show. And I haven't seen it yet, so I don't have like a real opinion, but I think it's something that is interesting. And I'm glad that it's in a show that it's good. It's
in a good season.
Yeah.
Like, imagine if like Gabutera came back from like ZooOhger.
Yeah, the fact that the Go-Kaijers came back in ZooOhger, it was really like, all right, you guys are. This is happening because it's an anniversary for them. It's not because you guys are a good show. Just remember that.
Just like making that clear, right? Oh my god.
Yeah, it's the same thing for KingOHGER too. It just fell on the year that whatever. But still.
Right.
Good show.
Right. But personally, I'm a really big fan of Gabutera joining the arsenal of the KingOHGERs. It's really fucking cool to see Gabutera combined with the KingOHGER mecha, because I feel like my critiques on it before kind of go away with Gabutera as the base. It looks really cool. And honestly, I would love to have it as a toy too.
My thing with the toy, and I was going to say this about the KingOHGER toy, it's just too small. It's too small, especially, and I hate to compare it, but especially when Don Onitaijin was so massive. I think the problem with Bandai sometimes is the inconsistency with toys. Like, why release something at a good proportion with Don Onitaijin to then release something super small with KingOHGER? And granted, KingOHGER was meant to get bigger. It was going to be, you can add all these other things.
The base
it
of
will
in
get
the future.
It will get bigger. But so did Don Onitaijin. That dude kept getting bigger. So I don't know. I genuinely feel like I wish there was better proportions with KingOHGER. Like, I wish some aspects were bigger. The articulation is fine, but I had the mecha toy for a couple weeks thanks to Toku Lector. He let me borrow it, and I don't know. I just didn't love it. I was like, I'm kind of glad I don't own this, and I was able to like make content with it and just like send it back to him, because like I just don't. I feel like I would have been bummed if I had spent however much money and it was that. Personally, for me, I'm not saying just in general, but personally for me, I was like, I wish this was more. So I didn't like that. But then seeing full action Kyoryugen, right? I was like, damn, that looks fire. And then I saw what it looks like next to the older one, and I was like, why is he so small though? Like, he's like a little friend. Like the little Stegochin, Dracera.
So tiny.
So
Can't
tiny,
even fit his
and like
redemption in them.
it's cute, and I think I would own it to have like a, that memento. But like, I wish it had been the same proportion as the KyoryuGER toy line.
Yeah, I agree.
That's my only
KingOHGER as a
note.
toy is pretty small, and like it's good for the kiddos. Like they can play with them easier, because I can imagine like Onitaijin, they're like, like combining them, their little toddler hands. But that does come at the expense of like size, right? So for us adult collectors, having to play with like a smaller toy after Don Onitaijin, it's like a little bit of a letdown. But hey, like it's okay. Like we'll live, we'll survive, and in the future, I'm sure Toy will do something different in the future.
Yeah, there's always next year. Exactly.
Boomger. Right.
Exactly.
Any final thoughts for KingOHGER?
It's one of the best seasons that we've had in the last decade, and that's a fact. There's just
really Dawn
sure.
Brothers, Zenkaiger.
Oh
Really?
yeah, I mean it's one of. I'm not saying it's the best. I'm saying
Oh,
it's
I was
definitely
like,
one
wait.
No,
The?
it's one of the best we've had in the last
okay.
decade for sure. And like we're only going to be able to say that for so long. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
that's true. Would you like say it's one of the best because of all the different things that Toei has done with it this year?
I think so. I think it sets itself apart in so many different ways that the thing with Sentai for me, I love Sentais that feel like their own thing. I don't
Right.
like Sentais that feel like a Sentai, if that makes sense.
Because you're kind of getting a little tired of the formula.
Once I feel like I'm watching a Super Sentai series, like we're a Sentai, I'm the red guy and I'm the blue one and I'm the yellow one. Like I'm just like, I love you guys, but
Been there, seen that.
But when I'm
Yeah.
watching a show that's like this guy and fucking this guy, like I love
This guy doing what to that guy?
Yeah, right. But I love stories that make every person in the team feel like their own person, and then
Unique.
those whole characters, these adults, if you will, but these people that are like fucking fully functional, normal, really cool, sometimes really smart or powerful people get together and form these teams. That to me is more interesting. And I feel like when you have a good writer, when you have a good storylines, it can be really fun. And you can have seasons like Dawn Brothers, because I love Dawn Brothers. It's one of my favorite. It was my favorite season since KingOHGER until KingOHGER happened. And now KingOHGER's up there. So like again, it really is one of the best. And I'm thankful for it, and I can't wait to catch up to see where we're at right now in the show.
Yeah, no, man. I agree. One of the best. Really strong characters, plot, setting. Maybe Mech. It's there. It does a good job incorporating it into the show. I will say that.
In the show it looks amazing, but Toyline,
It's definitely different from what we've been getting from like the past 2 years. So
even
like
Zenkai's
I
really
appreciate it
cool.
for that. Yeah. It's a really good season. I look forward to see how it wraps up as we go into 2024, starting a whole new season. I'm gonna miss the characters. I remember being
Hands
so
down, for
heartbroken when Dawn Brothers was gone. I still kind of am. I want to see the
too.
special that they released recently, but now that I've grown so close to the current cast, I'm gonna miss them too when they're done. They're
Yeah.
really fun.
100%.
Yeah, I don't want them to be forgotten. All right. So now let's begin with our B topic for today. We're going to be looking for the worst mech. So Gemini have selected 3 mech in our opinion that looks horrendous or just serves 0 to no function, right? So who wants to go first? Do you want to go first, sir?
Yeah, easy.
All right. What's your number 3?
3, it's the last combo in the Q Ranger mech.
Oh!
It has like the 30 Q-Tamas as like the legs.
Q Tanamanjin or something like that?
Yeah, exactly. It's the combo with regular Q Ranger mech, Q Reno.
Shishi Red and then Ho-Oh Soldier and then it's
Yeah,
like
Ho-Ho Soldier's mech,
parts.
and then also fucking Ryu Commander's mecha.
Yeah, Ryu Commanders. Yeah. Let me see if I can.
Ryuteo.
Ryuteo.
Yeah. So like that combo with all 3 of them, horrendous.
Ooh.
I think it adds
Hot
too
take.
many. It has too many Q-Tamas, and then the hands are like the exhausts from Ho-Ho Soldier's mecha. It's so fucking weird.
Yeah.
So that's 3
pulling
for
it
me. I just don't really love it personally. I think it could have been done way better. Like my peak 3 mecha combo. Like look at that thing. It looks so weird to me. I don't like it. The hands aren't fists or anything. How are you punching people with that? Like I just don't.
They're just rocket valves. You're like
I don't like. I think this is so ugly. And I just again peak 3 Megazord combination is Ninja Storm, Hurricaneger. The way they add green, the Thunder Megazord, and the Wind Ninja Megazord together is peak. But we're not talking about good mechas. We're talking about bad ones. So this is my number 3. I think this is ugly as fuck. My number.
I'm kind of like no because like I like it, but like also I get it because
Yeah,
a
I
lot
just
of people
don't-
feel the same way you do too. It's a little it's like a Christmas tree. Like we're looking at a Christmas tree right now.
It's too cute-ma-y, even though I get
Like-
it. Cute-mas are the gimmick. I just don't. It's too much.
Are you glad that Cosmic Fury left it out?
This Megazord, yes, 100%.
Oh wow. Oh
100%.
wow. Okay.
Definitely.
Okay. What's number 2?
Number 2 is wait. Number 2 and number 1 could be like switched, honestly,
Okay.
like either or. But number 2 is gonna be any mecha from KingOHGER.
Oh!
Any mecha from KingOHGER, technically.
Oh! Spoiled
Technically.
my list. Spoiled my list.
But then also
Oh
just
my
like
god.
specifically Zhuo King. I'll just leave it at that. I
Okay,
don't
I'm
love
gonna pull up
Zhuo
Zero King then. I'm gonna pull up Zero King.
Because it literally is blocks on blocks on blocks, and it doesn't look good. Especially specifically the toy. I think the toy looks so bad.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna pull up the. Nah, I'll pull up the in show. I'll be.
Yeah,
fair,
because I think at least the in show like kind of looks good, but it's still bad. It's still not good. Like mechs throughout the years have had such
man.
complexity. They've had such different designs. What is this?
I feel like it's like 10 steps backwards from what we've been given in the past.
Yes,
you know,
it's
like
giving Fisher
if you
Price.
if you told me this is like a Showa mech,
Yeah.
I would be extremely impressed.
I'd be like, damn.
But because this is like a Reiwa mech, it's like, oh, after Hurricaneger, after Time Ranger, after all these great seasons. This is after Ryu Soldier. This is before Lupat. This is before Ryu Soldier, I believe. Yeah. Okay, but like, see how like the mech was great in the past and after this, but then it's like this, right? They try to take a concept with blocks, and it just didn't work, especially for the mech. It fell flat.
No,
It
I think
fell
this
flat.
could have been way cooler. I think it could have been sleeker. I don't think it should have been as blocky as it is. Like the blocks.
It's
should-
trying its best to be blocky, but I think that's what makes it bad. It's like it's just too much and
Yeah.
too simple almost. Like
Yeah.
it's not even like that, interesting. And like if the toy itself could have this articulation, I know like Mini Plot and stuff like did that, but the main DX toy, like if it could separate the legs at least, then it would be like, okay, I can see how you could have fun with this. Like bend the elbow right here, you could bend the knee, you can separate the legs,
Yeah,
but
at
you
the
can't
very
do any of
least.
that.
No.
You can't do any of that. It's just one block, another block, another block, put a sword, you're done. And it's
Yeah,
like
it's very lazy.
and the sword, speaking of sword, this little dagger, this little like no detail looking dagger, what is that?
No,
it's lame.
it's sad, dude. It's not the greatest.
It's definitely not the greatest, and I'm gonna
It's a
get a
bummer.
little bit. I have a Zoologist mech on my list too, but I'll let you finish. What's your number 1 gem?
No, for sure. It's Shurikenjin from Ninja.
Oh, I thought you meant like Shinkenger. Shuriken.
No. Shurikenjin from Ninja.
Ninja?
Yeah, the mech that has like the guy in a seat.
Yes. I'm glad that you brought this up. And we're gonna talk about it. Hold on. Let me pull up the photo.
Brrr.
All right. Tell me why you don't like it.
Okay, so first of all, the Zords don't make sense. Personally,
Talk about it.
with Don Brothers, at the very least, they were all referencing these characters from the story. With
Right.
Ninja, you got a humanoid robo for red, you got a dragon for blue, you got a train for pink, you have a dump truck for yellow, and then you have a dog/wolf for fucking white. No sense, no cohesiveness, and then you're like, how
No.
are these all going to come together? And then they kind of put them together, which for the most part I think it's cool. I think the
I like the red. I like the red.
The red's kind of cool. I think the legs make sense. The arms kind of make sense. But then you get to that center and that head, and I think they really dropped the ball. The faces and the heads for mechas for me are like super important. If your face and helmet aren't good, your mecha is destroyed. You're fucked.
If it falls flat. Sorry.
And I don't think it does any justice to Shuriken or to Ninja. And then you just have some guy sitting in the center. I just don't. I honestly, I hate this mecha.
Can we like bring this up as an honorable mention? Hold on, I'm gonna bring this up right now.
I hate it, but I also kind of love watching it in the show. Like when it's in movement, I'm like, yeah, you move, buddy, because I don't know how you do it, but you're doing it. So oh my god. The guy sitting in the thing.
It's a guy piloting a guy.
Like it's so fucked.
When I tell you that when Ninja Steel started to air, like around this time, like I'm into Power Rangers and all, but I wasn't really like keeping up with the TV series live when Ninja Steel was out. When I saw their mech, I was physically gagged, but not in a good way. They look so dumb to me. I hated their mech. Like if I could pinpoint one thing in Ninja Steel or Ninja that I just really did not like, 100% it needs to go to the mech, because I never understood why they needed to be this complicated. And you know what my favorite part is about this mech? I was this close to bringing it up, so I'm glad that you did. I don't get how the wolf does anything.
No.
I was going to include the wolf by itself as like a useless mech, because let's be real. What is it doing when like everyone else is like, okay, Red is piloting, he's an arm, she's a leg. You're just sitting there. You're just
even
sitting
on
there.
its own, like it's just a dog. It's not really doing much. It has that blade thing in its mouth, so it can't even bite anybody. Kind of useless.
It reminds me of like the penguin in
Jungle Fury, Geki Ranger.
Jungle Fury, Geki Ranger. Thank you.
Gotcha.
But at least like the penguin like does shit with the surfboard, right?
Shit, yeah.
Like this one is like no.
Disgrace.
Pretty
All right,
pretty
dude.
boring.
I'm very interested to know what your 3 are.
Ooh boy! All right, you ready? Okay, I'm gonna start out with my number 3. My number 3, and this kind of breaks my heart a little bit. Number 3 is going to have to be the Amino Knuckles from Ryu Soldier. These little guys, I have a soft spot for them because they're in my collection. They're in my Ryu Soldier collection, the Ryu Soldier collection back at home. I have them displayed with everyone else because technically on their own, they are supposed to be mech. Like their own sentient, like they could exist without Kishiryou Neptune mech. But like, look at these guys. They don't really do much, do they? No. They got no arms, they got no legs, they don't even got a mouth, really. No. They don't even got a mouth, really. Come on, StreamYard. They're kind of just there, right? And they're literal knuckleheads because their head is a knuckle. And that's it. Now, like purpose-wise, they do have functionality because, you know, without them, Kishiryou Neptune wouldn't be able to hold anything, wouldn't be able to punch anything. And, you know, that makes them important. But alone, they don't really do much besides, I don't know, just like grace you and then make sparks fly. You know how like in Sentai, like when someone hits you, like sparks fly. When they like swim toward you, oh my god, I just got hit by their teeth? ? I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. I really don't know about these guys, but I don't hate them, and that's why they're my number 3. Now, you unfortunately already saw my number 2, but number 2 is going to be these guys from KingOHGER. We got the spider, the ant, and the ladybugs that are part of the KingOHGER mecha. I want to hear one good reason why they are part of the mecha.
Crickets.
Silence. They don't need to be there. The only reason why they exist is for 2 reasons. One, they make good marketing. Oh my god, 10 Zords. Oh, like that was like something they were pushing hard when KingOHGER was revealed. That there's 10 of them combined. But then these are the 5.
Not the ant.
Like they literally are accessories, especially the ant. That's why he's in the center of this photo. Because what does bro do? Don't even talk to me about how like King Kishiryou. Sorry, my bad. King I forgot like the final mecha. I said it earlier. I don't know why it's slipping my mind now, but
Extreme
He
King
is
Ohger?
not. No, the one path after that.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Extreme. I forget. Whatever. But yeah, like this guy, like he like served like a purpose. I'm tired. I'm tired. He served like a small purpose. I guess. Like I feel like they had to give him a purpose because other than that, like he does not do anything. He just sits on
Right.
Tombo as a sword and like he's just there.
Useless.
Boring, crying, whatever. Second reason that they even exist is because without them, King-KingOHGER would be a lot less bulky. Remember when I was talking about how it was very skinny? Like I didn't really like how like bare bones it is because now, you know, at this point in the show, we see why they were so skinny because they were going to add more on top of the base of Kuwagata-Ohger. But without these five guys, Kuwagata-Ohger as well as the other King-KingOHGER mech would look so empty. It looks so boring. I will say that my most favorite mech out of these five are the spiders, just because they make the center of King-KingOHGER look nice. But other than that, like they don't serve any other purpose besides being ports for future mech, and that kind of makes them boring to me. I'm not really happy, especially with their design. They're really boring, and don't even got paint on them. They don't even got paint. Before I get to my number one, I do have an honorable mention.
Okay.
And that is going to be, and this might be a little controversial. This is going to be Kaiser, Super Kaiser.
Oh my gosh.
Look at him. Look at him.
He's
Auto
so
viewers,
cute,
come on YouTube for a second.
though.
Look at him.
I love him.
He is cute. I won't lie. He is cute. But what I will say, the mech, the head on the body, the fact that it's almost as big as him, it looks a little off to me. I don't really like it. It's a chibi design, right? So, like, yeah, it's gonna be whatever. It's gonna be small, but I'm not a fan of the head on top of the stomach. It looks very weird to me. It sticks out. It's kind of just there just to be there for the combination. Because let's be honest, like the Rex for Zenkaiger, I forget the name. Guys, please forgive me today. I know today's not my best, but the Rex, Zenkaiger is like 95% of that, and then this guy's literally like 5. Like I feel like we could have incorporated the Rex to be evenly split between Zenkaiser and Kaiser a little bit better than this, because it's kind of boring to me. But it's not that big of a deal. That's why he's not really like on the official list. But he's kind of just one I wanted to bring up real quick. Now, number one. I'm sorry, but this is the ugliest mech I've ever seen in my life. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Not the bunny.
Yeah. No, yeah, the bunny.
Or is it
I
a
will
rabbit?
say it with my chest. It's a bunny. Apparently, it's a bunny. It's not even a rabbit. This bunny or rabbit, I don't even know. This guy is so ugly to me because he, not only is he just like simply a repaint, but also the eyes and mainly the mouth. The mouth I hate. I hate the mouth on this guy. He looks like he's gonna bite me. And if I see a bunny as white and fluffy as this guy, I would expect him to be a little bit nicer. But no, he's so mean and just terrifying, and I don't like it. The red eyes don't help his case either. But the number one thing that actually cracks me up about this guy is on the next slide I have here. If you look closely, you could see the mold for the lion's eyes on the bunny. Like, look at the spot where the eyes would be. You could literally see it on the bunny.
That's so
And I didn't notice that until I looked him up. But that is just crazy to me. How like they couldn't have even like switched the mold just a little bit to be a little bit more unique. This is what they came up with. And you know what? I guess it gets the job done. The bunny, it's not like the most horrid thing Toy has ever created, but it definitely is to me the worst mech in
one of the
Sentai.
worst. Yeah, dude, for sure.
And
It's pretty bad.
And one really big reason for it is definitely because of Zyuohger as a season with the mech, I guess, specifically.
Yep.
We already touched on it with your list, but Zyuohger, it's not really interesting, and so any variation of a Zyuohger mech is not going to really make me excited. It's not going to intrigue me. It's not going to interest me. Nothing. Zero, zilch, nada.
Zip.
Okay?
Get out of here.
Bye. You know what? Get out of here. I'm tired of looking at your face. We're done
The
here.
stream
We're
just
done.
ends. Yep.
Goodbye. Good night. And then just like black. Oh my god. Thank you so much, Jem, for joining me on today's episode. Returning for another episode. Eee! Yes. Oh, Mr. Common Rider. Oh no, that's Hockley's. I'm sorry.
That's so funny.
Yo, seriously, man. Thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate your return. And maybe I'll return back to you. Oh, who said that?
Ooh.
Oh, maybe stay tuned. Maybe stay tuned. If you haven't noticed already, our collabs are in the description. You can go ahead and check them out. But also, you should be subscribing. You should be liking. You should be following Mr. over here. Mr. Prawnhorn Hero, Prawnhorn Gem, Prawnhorn Fee. Don't forget her. All right. They got all these channels and you best be supporting. They also got the merch. You better rep the merch. Sorry, I haven't been repping the merch. I'm broke. But when I do get the money, I'll get the merch.
Yeah.
Don't worry, right? So yeah, please go ahead and follow him. He's an amazing guy. And I don't know, like, it's possible that we do more collabs in the future, either on his channel or, you know, somewhere else. Like, stay tuned, right, guys? I'll keep you posted. But I want to thank you so much for watching today's episode. I know that I'm a little bit more tired than usual, so I was stumbling over my words. But, you know, we're all human. We have those days. We have fun, and that's all that really matters, right? We had a pretty good discussion on King-KingOHGER, and that list... that list was really funny to me. Seriously. So... thank you guys so much for watching. Season 1 is coming to a close, so stay tuned for an announcement on when the final episode will be. I will keep you guys posted on the Twitter account for the channel, as well as my personal Twitter account. And Zachary will retweet too, so no worries. If you want to support the channel, thank you for doing it already. But if you want to continue, you can go ahead and like, you can go ahead and comment, subscribe. Anything you do will be greatly appreciated and loved. Also, thank you to everyone who's been listening to us on Apple, Spotify, Google, and Amazon. We hear you, we love you, and we appreciate you too, okay? All right, y'all. I hope y'all have a very good night and look forward to the next episode. Yeah. All right. Any last words, Jump?
You are the king.
You are the king. You are the... You are the king. Yeah. All right. Bye.
Bye, everybody.